London. There we are. You can see. Doesn't it make you proud? Look at that. We've got a crow. We found the one crow in downtown London. A bit of grass.
It looks so like docile right now. There's just nobody around. Like,
mate, I know. This is like the scene from 28 Days Later there. Like, you actually managed to find a quiet part of London. Can you stop throwing bananas?
At least you gave it to someone who knows what to do with it this time.
Right. But
to
anyway,
be fair, it felt like 28 Days Later. Those zombies of EasySkins go big,
can I
and
just
they're mowing them down as they slowly walk in, you know.
Because this might be like the banter. We have an empty headset. Because what is a LAN without an absence from Semler?
We realised he adds nothing to the broadcast anyway, so we just let him go.
We are back on.
Anders, who cares?
We are back on the analysis.
ESL told me Semler's not good anyway.
I'm still Richard Lewis. With me, we have still got Thorin. Sadakist is joining us now, and of course,
we're getting slowly closer to the top of the food chain.
Mate, this is how it works. You work your way up, and by turning up to actually do some analysis, you've already put yourself ahead of Semler. So anyway,
I mean, he already looks like Tom Cruise in Rain Man. You remember? He's like,
probably as short as the guy.
You gotta come with me to LA.
It's the first time I haven't worn a full suit. All right, cut me some slack.
I know it is disgusting. It is disgusting.
Sorry,
it's unacceptable. But anyway, look. So let's talk about the games we've got coming up now. We're into Group B.
My 6 chest hairs. You don't like them?
Yeah.
Sorry, Richard. You were saying?
No, it's good. He's got a point, actually, mate.
I said a little bit of dignity. Cover up. You know,
at least I don't wear a wool sweater every time I go to the hot tub.
That's why you can't find a man. Have a little bit of self-respect.
All right, I'm sorry.
Right. So TSM.
You do you. You have been doing you,
That's
mate.
true. I have.
TSM versus Copenhagen Wolves. Obviously, TSM. We know we talked about it just before we went to break. They were out in Dubai. They had that epic final against Virtus Pro. They did come off a little bit worse for wear there. And of course, we know that they lost to Envious as well and didn't make it to the final of the majors. So they're good, but they haven't been amazing of late. They're going to go up against Copenhagen Wolves, a little bit of an unknown quantity. These are, of course, the Norwegians. Well, it's actually sort of a Scandic mix now, isn't it? Because they've got Norwegians in there.
Like going around, it seems, actually, in the Scandic region. But we had Natu going up. Alu going over to NIP. Obviously, we've just seen Schneider's playing in this
Danish team,
Dignitas team, and now we've got this like part LGB, part guys from. I mean, I guess they were in Orbit or something like that before. It's kind of a mix of the teams.
London Conspiracy briefly as well, if I remember rightly. But anyway, you can see we're now introducing TSM. That was Cajun B on the end. This was the guy. There was some speculation about whether or not he'd be in the team, but he's absolutely stepped up his performances. Probably he's the best support player in the game right now, arguably.
100%. Yeah, and the thing is, he does bring a lot to this team because they've got so many star quality players. That's not at all the role he's required to play, and so as a result, I think he fills that position very, very well for them. Carrigan, here's the guy where actually I think a lot of their improved performance in Dubai was he regained a little bit of that opening form that we saw when they first broke out around PGL, where he was having these great solo performances as the AWP himself. There's Dupree, one of the best entry fraggers in the world. Interestingly, mainly an A1 player in terms of the M4, so interesting to see if he will stick with it or whether he'll be going with the A4 and going for the extra bullets. And then one of the best players, I mean, we used to know him as the Choke King, but actually last few tournaments, even the ones they've lost, he's been really consistent. He's always putting up numbers.
Monster performance out in Cologne where he had to use a mouse he'd never even played with before due to some equipment going missing against Envious, and he's still top fragged for his team.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff.
Do you want to, speaking of people showing up when they need to, though, we do have Semler back.
Way! Welcome. We did actually start without you, brother.
Pull the Star Series on me, yeah?
The show,
we didn't have Vendetta here to like bail you out every time, though.
So I see you've gotten Thorin's attentions.
That was actually
very much.
Hinders,
that's the
not.
symbol for Thorin love. But anyway, tell us about this Copenhagen Wolves team, Semler, since you've just joined us.
Well, it's the XLGB, made up primarily of Norwegians, although some of them have moved to Denmark. This man in question right here, Rubino, moved down to the Daneland. He's hanging out with Anders on a daily basis. They're all talking it up. But still a heavy
like
fragger.
Anders.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, they grow the beard down there. That's the thing.
Sure, his girlfriend would rather be going home with him, though.
Bit of a controversial player, Zevez, in-game leader.
Maybe that's the arrangement. I don't know. A little bit of spice of life variety. You know, mix it up. Looks a bit the same, a little bit different.
And here he is, Twist. Now, this is the guy I really want to see. Exactly. Another one of these players like Schneider.
Thorin doesn't, but you do.
And Pauf, don't remember.
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as Pauf isn't mentioned. Yeah.
Anders is happy. Got Pauf in there.
And Jacob.
Yeah.
To wrap things up. Insane aim. Just all around solid rifle.
Despondent, really.
Well, look, I tell you what. Let's start there with talking about this whole thing, Duncan. And I want to get your rationale for this. Now, I agree with you on Pauf. I think it's ridiculous that Anders keeps bringing him up. I don't really see him as being relevant in the same way that a Schneider is. But I also include Twist as being one of these hugely important players. People don't know this, but of course he could have been in an IP, but he turned it down. He didn't even want a piece of that action. So what?
It's too good for that.
That's the problem right there, Richard, is he literally had the option to be an NIP player this year and turned it down. But for what? Just staying in second, third tier teams.
I would say third rate in
not
Sweden.
even competitive teams in terms of the top. So the problem with that is, that sounds like, yeah, oh, that's good though, right? You had the chance to be a NIP. No, but that's his whole problem there. Skill-wise, ever since LGB, we've known this guy had skill and he could be explosive, but he's never been a guy where his head was in the game, where he was like, what he lacks, okay, is what like Get Right has in Spade, which is like the drive to want to win all the time, to always be practicing to be the best. No matter what your situation is, you're trying to have the best team, you're trying to go for the title the whole time. He seems like a guy who's just content to chill out and just, we'll see what happens. And as a result, nothing happens unless you force these opportunities to.
It's insane that you would turn down an opportunity like that, regardless, just with the marketability that comes for you, the attention that you're going to get, the options that you'll have later to, join whatever roster you want. Obviously, there's situations that are going on with NIP right now, but just imagine
sometimes
the doors that are open to them.
Sometimes you just get those kinds of guys, they get locked into this mindset, into their mindset, and it may not make sense to anybody else, but Twist has always been one of those players who's just like, nah, I only play the game to play with my friends, and I don't really care. If I'm going to play.
But he's such a phenomenal talent.
Make better friends.
Is, but he's just like, nah, I'd rather just chill out over here and play some games. LGB back in the day when he filled shoes there, it's just like he's just messing around, really.
Well, I'll ask you, Semler, again, because I know obviously you know the players quite well and talk to a lot of these guys. Is there any indication that Twist has maybe had a change of attitude and joining this Copenhagen Wolves team is kind of like a way to be, okay, I'm back, I'm here, I want you to pay attention to me, because these aren't traditionally the players that he would maybe, want to be playing with, especially given, other options have been on the table.
Sure. I mean, you have to, I'm going to bring out my inner cynic now, how much are friends worth, right? And with how much money is going around right now in the scene, if you can make it into a major, if you can make it at 16, if you can make top 8 at a major, just how much money are you making out of stickers?
See, the message he was really sending there was like, just because people are associated together, don't think you can't make a really sick offer to one of them, and then he'll probably leave that whole friendship. Listen, friendship's for the past.
Exactly.
Sick Skrilla, that's for the future.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, why would he not take the NIP offer for that reason alone?
That sort of thing, right?
Wants to take his
what does it all come down to in the end?
Whereas real men are all about package deals.
The one thing you can say about the Swedish scene right now is that you talked about this whole farm system that you guys were going on about in the second team that often feeds into the top team. Sweden's one of those ones that there's you look at Denmark, there's a few guys that aren't playing right now that you could think of, like, where are they? Sweden's got like 10 guys that you're like, where are they? Schneider was one of them up until recently, rejoining. Twist is another.
Dennis.
Palf. No, you're right. Dennis
with Kingwin.
Yeah,
just sat out there doing nothing.
Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, Sweden's got depth there. Like, there's almost room for another Swedish roster if they could find the right roles, the right attitudes, and the right fitment. Then there's almost room for a third Swedish team. And no nation really has 3 teams.
Nice
at the
to see Cadian turned up.
There was a time.
Enjoyed a bit of CS:GO.
Good spot.
Popular streamer.
Good spot, Duncan. Anyway, look. So let's talk about TSM, because I mean, it's all fine and dandy talking about Copenhagen Wolves and maybe what they can do, and they've all got various things that they need to prove, and of course, I think this is a big pickup for Copenhagen Wolves in terms of their commitment and doubling down in the CS:GO scene. I think this is going to be very interesting to see how that relationship sort of plays out.
Copenhagen Wolves has always been an organization that goes for the farm status, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, in every game, not just in CS:GO.
And then they kind of get picked apart, they turn into the team that everybody just kind of cherry picks from. And, Copenhagen Wolves.
So it's going to be interesting to see how they can do against the team that, TSM, as I said, a lot of people felt that, the final could have really gone either way. It was so close, the Virtus Pro Dubai final that they played. It was a fantastic game, a real great spectacle. Yeah. How good are TSM right now at the moment?
I still think that they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I think that they've been figured out. They're trying to figure themselves out right now because they've been figured out by their opponents.
And that's what I was going to say. And then it's interesting in best of one. We saw them lose a best of one, by the way, at ESL Pro League as recently as that. But more so that they've started to lean toward Overpass more and more. I think that was a map they didn't even touch like 6 months ago, and now it's the one that they're looking to all the time. And the point that Semler made about figuring themselves out, this is one of those maps where initially they had Kerrigan opting toward Monster, then they had Device, CT side obviously opting out toward A, and every time it changed, it had consequences of playing more passively or aggressively on the respective site, and in a lot of situations it cost them, and I kind of think Semler hit a really good point where they have so much diversity in their team that they try so many different things, and sometimes it just backfires entirely on them.
Well, it's every team is going to fall into a pattern, right, of what works, and the only problem is when you can start adjusting and recognizing when you've been figured out and when it's time to start changing up. Mirage is case in point right there, where they're starting to figure out, okay, well, how the hell do we deal with mid, because we got a bit too predictable counting on Kerrigan every round with the AWP. Yeah. And so people have figured out, okay, well, that's what they tend to do. They shut them down mid, and then TSM are kind of left dead in the water. So that's just an example, right? Overpass, they were a team that were very strong on Overpass, but it's been, yeah, like Sadaka says, several months since that's been the case. So for them to start things off against Copenhagen Wolves, I think this is best case scenario actually for TSM, because they're still a strong team on Overpass. They just can't go up against the top teams on Overpass. But we can't go so far as to say that Copenhagen Wolves are one of those top teams that are a real threat.
So the thing is, though, as much as they have a few more weaknesses, because when they were in their real prime during the midst of the summer, they had almost the whole map pool open to them. That's what made them so crazy. Okay, a couple of the maps, they've got some issues to work out on, but they still have so many strengths on maps like Dust 2, Inferno, that no one wants to play them on, that as a result, they're always getting respect bans over there. And so as a result, they're always getting towards maps, at least that they want. So it means that I don't think they're quite in trouble yet. I still think they're an extremely good team. When you consider the other lay of the land, okay, Envy's is still a bit green, you know. Fnatic's having, I mean, not really problems. They're still placing top 4, but they're not dominant anymore in the same sense, you know. So I still think the landscape's good for TSM to become potentially a #1 team.
Just really quickly, the point that you made too is the depth of the map pool that they used to have. We never used to see best of 5s, but now we're starting to see best of 3s become normal with best of 5 finals. Fnatic and TSM have been the two most successful teams in that era because they're the two teams with the best depth.
Sure, and when we start nitpicking as well about, you know, they need to figure things out, we're talking like a couple percentage points here, because at the top of the food chain, that's what makes the difference, right? It's one tendency that's figured out and that's going to get exploited, and there you go, but you need to be able to put your finger on that one thing. To any other team that's not a top 4 team, it's not apparent. But when you're facing the likes of Fnatic or you're facing the likes of Virtus.pro now, who are showing that kind of form, then it becomes a problem, right? We're literally talking about the top of the food chain, the very top. So yeah, TSM, as far as I'm concerned, is still top 4 team easy in the world right now.
There's also another factor, which is that originally it only was Fnatic and TSM who had almost the whole map pool. They could always essentially draw respect bans and therefore always be shifting the map pool in their favor. You notice now a number of other top teams have sort of joined their ranks, though. Like Na'Vi really expanded their pool when they went on that run. Virtus.pro now suddenly are like beating the best Overpass and Train teams. They're like really good on them. They already had like a standard 3 or 4 themselves. So it feels like at the moment, any team that's going to be an event champion has to have a really deep map pool. It's not anymore about being amazing on 2 maps and hoping you get one and then the other guys going to let it be a 50-50 play. Now you have to be really good on 4 maps to be a world champion.
Well, wouldn't you agree? You know, it seems like each of these teams, they're strong on 6 maps. Like 6 maps, and they're really strong. They can take series on 6 maps, and then you know, because why I say that is like Na'Vi. When you mention Na'Vi as having a really deep map pool, you know, it's always going to be Cash, that thorn in their side, where they're still weak on Cash. So long as they can get 1 ban off, you know, they can take Cash out of the picture, and then they're solid. Right, so that's like the bare minimum that you have to have if you're going to win a tournament now, is you have to be competent on 6.
And 6 is the key, because now it's people are going with the ban, one team bans, the other team ban, one team picks, the other team picks, as opposed to ban, where you could take out 2 maps and then all you needed was 5 essentially.
Oh, was this the Raheem?
Yeah,
bam, and then also like the major, you know, the major basically Russian roulette. You know, let's see which map that we're going to get.
Russian roulette, Raheem. That's how he casts.
We were doing so well for a while.
I know. We really hit our stride.
I'm glad we gave the opening, man. We need to liven things up a little bit. You know?
So look, let's rewind. I want to talk about specifically this matchup, not literally, figuratively. Copenhagen Wolves going head-to-head with TSM. You know, you're saying this is the ideal start for TSM, so I'm guessing that means you don't think there's any chance of an upset here. You don't think these guys can go toe-to-toe with them, which I find crazy, because I do seem to recall your partner having lots of good things to say about them. So can you give me a quick prediction?
I like how he's your partner now.
I mean casting partner.
We are, you know, very close. He says,
isn't your insignia a pair of crossed swords?
Exactly right. I'm glad you remember that. You know. Anders is like, okay, please stop.
How do you see this one going? We got the knife round live, so we got about 30 seconds for predictions.
Knife round. Okay. The 2 key points that we need to keep an eye on are Rubino and Jacob, what form that they're going to show. Twist is the X factor as well. If he gets on form, if you have 3 guys like that going to town, then TSM are going to be they're going to have a challenging situation on their hands. I still put TSM as the winner. I'd say 16-10 comfortably their way.
Okay. It is a side-dependent map in a lot of ways, so I'm going to say that it will be double digits to both teams, but I'm going to say like 16-12 still for TSM.
I think this is a good map for TSM. There's only a couple of teams in the world can beat him on it. I think a strong win here, like 16-8, and I think actually Cajun B's the guy who's going to be crazy for this one, I think.
Okay, well, we'll wait and see how it happens. Thanks for your thoughts, guys. Now we're going to get into the game. Something for everyone in this one. Do you like bears? Do you like Finn, people? Entirely up
like
to you. We've got Anders, we've got Henry G. TSM versus Copenhagen Wolves, the first game in Group B. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, Richard, and the whole panel there, and a nice introduction.
Very nice introduction, has to be said. Bare or thin. What
Yeah.
flattering roles we've been given.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I think we'll do fine, Henry. We've got a little bit of everything to offer people here, including, hopefully, a very good matchup here on Overpass.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt that TSM is the favorite team. It has to be.
Sure.
I mean, for newcomers here, is TSM, do you think, a team that'll make the finals of this tournament?
Absolutely. Like we said, we think this is a great opening match for them. The fact that we saw Envious have the opening game against Easy Skins, getting warmed up there so perfectly, I think this will ring true for TSM going into this one as well. It's a really nice game for them to get warmed up in the environment, feel the stage out, feel how it feels for them. And yeah, like Copenhagen Wolves, definitely a formidable team. I definitely say it's a better matchup than what Envious and Easy Skins had, but you can only predict it going one way, really. I hope it is competitive, though, and we do get something to get excited about here. So Overpass, a great map to kick things off. Obviously, we talk about TSM's map pool being so deep. You have to wake up pretty early in the morning to catch them out on Overpass, it has to be said. But the thing for Copenhagen Wolves is they're starting on the CT side, so they've got that going for them.
A bit of an advantage, and let's see if they can make it work here. TSM setting up extremely quickly for what looks like an executing towards the B bomb site, but I love the fact that Twist is just already moving up behind here. If they're quick, Copenhagen Wolves, they might catch them off guard. Grenade gonna bounce on down. Still only a little bit of damage being taken by anyone until a good headshot lands there. Sevis picking it up, and Twist coming up from behind, taking out Cajun B, and Rubino dropping Carrigan. It's a really quick start here to Overpass. The bomb is down, yes, but they're a man down still, even as Sipnix picks up that one kill here. Device running and gunning, and Jacob will shut him down. That's going to be the win. Copenhagen Wolves picking it up. Fantastic start.
What a fantastic start that was to actually take the post-plant situation and only drop 2 frags there. Pretty standard stuff from TSM, was going straight towards B, getting the set execution down with the smokes, getting to the bomb side, but Zevo's getting that opening frag. Bomb did go down, but a perfect retake from them. Thing is, they did get the bomb down, so AK-47's presumably coming out of the next round. It'd be interesting to see where TSM go with this. You obviously have the option to go Tech-9s if you so wish, and you can actually see TSM opting for that one. It's an interesting decision. Normally you try and play the percentages, go for the AKs and go against CTs with lesser weapons, but they're all in on this one. They want to make sure they can actually lock this one out. And with the smoke grenades, the Tech-9s, it could be a very dangerous prospect.
And you got to wonder if this is also TSM's way of saying we're simply just a better team here, so we're not even going to wait. If you try and test us, we'll run you down with these Tech-9s here. They've got all the equipment. They're already in once again, very fast. And Sevis is flashed, but they're not checking this, and Sender will help him out. As Carrigan's gone down, they're going to go for the bomb plan. Looks like they'll be successful. Sevis actually waiting, which might be a smart play here. He's not giving up this position just yet. They're inflicting a lot of damage to the Danish side, and Jacob now trying to get in here with the P90, looking for a shot. He's going to get shot in the back of the head. It's the pre taking him out, and still a 4v4 here. Bowman ticking away in sight. Twist has got the kit. He has to stay alive. Rubino not with the kit. He goes down. It's complete havoc inside this bomb site, but the bomb is being defused inside. They're giving it up, recommitting. Oh no, TSM, they steal it back. Henry, what on earth did we just witness?
I'm not so sure, and to be fair, that was absolute carnage on the bomb side. I don't think anyone had a clue what was going on. Smokes were everywhere. TSM players running riot on shore. There was some really convincing smokes down with the CTs as well. I thought that defuse would come into fruition for them, but the spamming and running shooting capability of the Tech-9s, just finding headshots through the smoke, it seemed like they were absolutely relentless there. Really exciting round, and what an investment that was from TSM. Getting themselves back into the game and forcing Copenhagen Wolves now onto a CZ round, but that was absolutely massive there. Crazy exchange of kills onto the B-bomb site.
And a bit of a one-way smoke being set up there by Rubino. You can see he's going to go up the stairwell here and look for the shot on Cajun, and Cajun should know that. I feel like everyone, once that smoke goes down, should realize exactly what's happening, and yet a lot of people do get caught by it. Cajun this time surviving, and he did only have a Mac 10, but slow round coming out from TSM, the first one. Yeah,
this is good, because they've got the 2 SMG players there, right? So you can use those guys as recon. Overpass is all about getting positional control of certain areas, dissecting it where the CTs may lie, pushing up as a team, and then you can execute onto the bomb site methodically. That's the best way to approach it. So you can see a Dupree, he's got full control along, he's giving that information to his team. They're leaving the bomb towards middle as well. They're just trying to work out where CT players may be. So Device there, taking out another frag. They're not committing too much to this now. They're just waiting to see what the reaction is from the CT side, and this should be a very simple round for them now.
They almost caught Device there. I mean, Sevis is walking up behind 2 of them. You kind of wish he had something other than a C-set 75. Hello. He's waiting, he's playing this very smartly. They're right there, but oh, he misses the shot. He does take down Cajun. That was very nearly a double kill. The Device is going to double of his zone. It's a 4v3 right now, still 25 seconds as they make their way to the B-bomb side, and they're going to find an empty site. That was some close timing, Henry.
Yeah, absolutely. The double ZZ there could have come in, but only managing to take down one. Did decent damage to Device as well, but I think this is a good decision from the CTs. They've got CZs, they've got armor, they've got a Mach 10 as well, so definitely not going to win this round, so they might as well carry that on to the next and see if they can cause the same sort of damage next round.
Now, what Copenhagen Wolves were trying to do, pushing 4 people like that into restrooms, that actually is a little bit refreshing to me, because usually if you're in this situation where you don't have the best equipment, people try and stack a bomb set, yes, but they won't usually try and go as a group aggressive somewhere. That's a cool idea.
In terms of the normal meta, I guess you should say, you'd stack the B-bomb site, because a lot of teams on their anti-ecos will just choose to hold up for an area and then do the execute with the smokes into the site, try and go in, and you play your chances there. But TSM play that very methodically. They actually spread out across the map. We saw Dupree getting up to long. They get information and they were just holding back. They weren't committing too many players to certain situations. So, like you said, Copenhagen Wolves doing something a little bit interesting there, trying to catch out TSM perhaps, but only taking 1 kill then. It was pretty simple procedure from there. But now we did see Copenhagen Wolves save a few pistols there. This is the moment here. I thought he was going to get the double frag. Unable to happen for Zevers, but this is where things get interesting a little bit perhaps. They've got 2 guns remaining, CZ and 5-7, but we have got a pause here. I can only assume it's a technical pause.
Yeah,
because it's a bit early in the stage of the game to have anything tactical at this point.
It's just a little bit too soon, yeah. No one really going to be too worried, even as the somewhat promising start from Copenhagen Wolves got foiled in the second round by a really quick Tech 9 round, which is a little bit of a shame. They are the underdog team. You want them to have a good start here. But we'll see later on. I mean, so that the kind of aggression that they pulled out of the A-bomb site there in the last round, in the pistol round, they had Twist pushing all the way up like that. I mean, this map does have a huge choke point at that entrance to the A side of the map. Like, there's 2 entrances, but if you control both, you control almost all the map.
Well, now we can see Copenhagen Wolves going for the full-on stack B. This is more traditional. We see a lot of teams just going all in on this, trying to catch out that fast execute. A lot of teams will just go for a full-on B rush to just try and secure themselves a quick round, but TSM almost predicting this perfectly as they make 4 players up towards long. Cajun Beaters will be holding the flanks for any rotations here, but this should be all but concluded this round as the TSM do slow things down a little bit. You can see Copenhagen Wolves reacting as Ever's going to be rotating back to the A-bomb side, but here comes that execution I talked about. You get the positional control on the map, get the smokes down, then the bomb, and then it should be tied up.
And Severs is only going to get there in time to run into the smokes, essentially, so timing just a little bit off. Default plant going to come through here for TSM. Not a care in the world right now. They've got themselves in such a good position. So a little bit of armor on Jacob and the Sender, so maybe they could try and save that, but otherwise I think the name of the game has to be just exit frags.
Yeah, just try and get anything you can. If you can cause some sort of economic damage to the terrorist team, that's all you can really do. You can see Cajun B still has the UMP in hand as well, so he'll be hunting, emphatically trying to find any sort of guns he can and kills, but CT's so far not really inflicting any damage. Dupree's taking a shot to the shoulder perhaps, but should be a pretty convincing round for them as Zender just goes down, and it's going to be the last player remaining. There we go, TSM 3-1. This is where Copenhagen Wolves really do need to get their footing in here. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a very aggressive round, get the AWP out, try and go for that first pick towards Fountain, for example.
I feel like when the skill difference between the 2 teams is this big, I actually would like to see something aggressive. But if it was 2 closer teams, I would have expected like more of a default round for Copenhagen Wolves. But I feel like default's going to be tough to play here.
Well, you can see now Copenhagen Wolves haven't got the best buy. Only 1 kit here. We can see that aggression coming towards mid, smoking off towards Fountain. And now it looks like actually a full-on set piece for B.
Yeah, they're going to go for it quick here. Severs turning his back, and Carrigan will instantly take him down. The timing couldn't possibly have been better here for the TSM player. Sender wanted to flash his way through, but I think he got flashed himself and has to stop on the other side, and this is a very bad spot. If the smoke disappears, he's out in the open. He's being caught. He takes a kill on Sipnix, but instantly returned by Device. The bomb is dropped, yes, but they're a man down right now, Copenhagen Wolves, and TSM, they're on the bomb side. They've got the control. Dupree will be shot down by Rubino. That was a good kill there. Headshot right at the edge of the smoke, but still a 3v3, and plenty of time left here for the terrorist side to get themselves in position. Carrigan's recovered the bomb and is putting it down, and look at this Device. He's actually ready for this boost. They see it coming, and Carrigan still goes down to it. That's now 2nd kill of the round here for Rubino. Cajun and Device are left. They've got a Molotov here on Device, so he could put it up, but he's not gonna. He goes down. That's Jacob with the shot, and Cajun to die last. It's Twist with the headshot. A nice retake from Copenhagen Wolves, and maybe even a little bit slobby there for TSM.
They saw that boost coming in, they gave the call off. Why did Carrigan have to face that? If anything, don't face. Make them waste time by trying to look for frags in that situation. The call came in, Carrigan faced, got taken down, and actually gives them the entrance back into the bomb site. Overpass is one of those maps where a B execute straight off the bat is definitely viable. It's like other maps you would say you need to get control first, but Overpass allows you to do this kind of plays. But let's just have a look at this. So Rubinho at the top there, Carrigan gives his kill away, and that's when the round's over that stage. A 3-man push into the site, and it's definitely a round that Copenhagen Wolves needed. That would have pushed them onto a full eco after that one. So well played to them. They pick up the AWP now, so maybe they can get their footing in and actually have a solid round here. Interesting enough, the AWP is going straight towards Monster Tunnel as well, so they can actually lock the site down, get some good information just by facing down there.
Right now, they've got Sipnix on the TSM side just situated outside of the B-bomb side just to make sure that there's no sneaky business going on. The rest of the team, slowly, as they were in earlier rounds, clearing out that side of the map. And Copenhagen Wolves aren't really contesting this a lot, I'd say.
It's a very passive setup from them, it has to be said. Most teams will at least challenge middle at the start and go for some sort of phase to get intel at least towards Fountain. But they're actually allowing the terrorists to gain control. Look at what they've got along as well. They've only got Zevez just jumping over the APC there, trying to work out whether he can just get a spot off. But so far, you have to say, TSM have got complete control of this as they keep just clearing out certain areas and gaining control slowly. And actually, Device does spot Zevez there behind the APC and will get that information to his team.
Grenade just a little bit short there, but you can tell there's still 40 seconds left as TSM are setting up for a lot of grenades into this A bomb site. They've got no control on B, so they kind of have to commit to it. If they run back B now, it'd be a big risk. 30 seconds here, and counter flashes are ready to come out as well. Twist Close not going to make it happen. Severs will get a refrag finally, but Device takes him out. He was caught between two pinches there, couldn't really get out. Jacob dies as well to Carrigan, and now that bomb should be going down. 15 seconds here, and it's man advantage currently for TSM. If they win this round, they're going to break that economy on the CT side. It'll be very hard for Copenhagen Wolves to get back in the game. They need this round, and Rubino actually, not the usual AWPer, going to pick up that rifle and take down Cajun. Sender and Rubino, they're going to have to go for the retake here. They need this defuse, and Device says no. He's going to take the one kill, gets a double, and now he's trapped, and he has no time. He goes down to Carrigan.
Yep. Unfortunately for CTs, you can't allow a team like TSM to have that much positional control of the map like Overpass. There's only, it's just a means to an end, really. Every team's going to execute in a very similar fashion. If you allow TSM to get into position where they can do all their smokes, all their flashbangs, and go in as a team, as a fragging unit, you're never going to beat them in those sort of situations. You need to at least be contesting, take a man off at the start, and then you can fall back to the bomb side. I don't think you should be allowing TSM to have that much control of all the key areas of the map.
I mean, there was about 15 seconds left as the bomb went down, so if they had been, pushing them back and making TSM waste more time, that could have been a really scary round there, but they did have a lot of space to work around with. It's back to pistols here for the CT side, whereas TSM, once again, strolling into the B-bomb side and finding no opposition.
Perfect calls every time. We talked about this. Some teams will do this on their anti-ecos, go straight to B, just to kind of get the job done and dusted as quickly as possible. We saw Copenhagen Wolves actually stack this bomb site, one of their ecos, not so many rounds ago. This time they go towards A and actually get completely countered here. Dupree on the Mac 10, it's going to be the recon player. He can just cause havoc on any bomb site. Occasion B getting contested there. Zevez takes him down and makes it a 4-on-3 situation.
Oh, if they could save that AK, that'd definitely be very helpful. Seb is doing a good job. That was actually, I think, a backpedaling USPS shot to the face of Device, so he's going to have to make his way out in a different way, and Sender wanted to catch him. I mean, all the damage they could do right now, it's all going to be helpful. Dupree, a little bit unorthodox, comes jumping in with the FAMAS, but he gets the job done anyway. Oh, the Mac 10, sorry. And that is going to be 5-2. 8th round starting off now, and honestly, Henry, at this point, things are looking really bad for Copenhagen Wolves.
Well, the saving grace here, they saved 2 AK-47s for the last round. The economy wasn't great there. A couple of players are on the 3.5k mark, but those AKs are going to help out a lot. It means they do get a full buy here. Their buys have been a problem for them so far, but let's see what they propose was this time. Will they be going more aggressive? Finally, yes, they are. So Copenhagen Wolves getting into connector, pushing down to steps, and actually trying to get some sort of aggression going at the start of the round. To get some sort of damage off or even find a frag here would be fantastic for them.
They're going to try. They actually do succeed, but not before losing Jacob. Ruben against one, and he's not going to be able to get down Sipnik, so Twist dies as well, and Sender and Severs are left. Not with much of a chance to defend. There's so many grenades left on this TSM side.
Yeah, what can you do in this situation? You're 4-on-2 against TSM. The bomb's gone down. You've got no kits. A couple of smokes to your names. I'd just say save the guns again. We need to take this round on the chin. Do not do anything too silly and give these ones away. We need to make sure we try and stabilize this economy. So far, it's running away from us. They forced into that one with the double AK save, but now they can save the imports and potentially do some damage next round.
So that aggressive push that we were talking about, they did push up. They did put up the smokes towards the playground birthday area. Now the problem is TSM actually just played around the smokes. They sort of doubled up on the aggression when most teams maybe would try and wait for the smokes to disappear and play a little bit slower. So that's actually just a really good call on TSM as well, I think. Not buying into Copenhagen Wolves, essentially trying to control the pace here, and then they won't even survive. Oh no.
Well, there we go. That's one of the M4s we talked about. Could have been instrumental going into this round if they had predicted where the stack would be going. But they save one M4, and you would predict this is going to be another eco for Copenhagen Wolves here. But TSM, like you said, the calls are just absolutely pitch perfect right now. Seem to be finding every single bomb site empty. And once again, Carrigan's going to be that recon player. This is such great reads. And then they're playing the economy perfect. It means they can sacrifice one player going into the site first. And if he does find the stack, they can fall back. And this is exactly what Carrigan's doing right now. He's called there's a lot of CT players there, and they should be able to call into his team. Right, let's get to A, leave this bomb site now.
Sivnik starting off in Carrigan with that submachine gun looking for the bonus, but all his teammates are basically taking all these frags, so he hasn't got a single one yet, and he won't. Oh, he gets the last one in there, so
I was going to say, that's the moment you probably expected the rotate. They actually just said, oh, look, we found the CT players, let's just get in and kill all of them. That's an interesting play, maybe finding their confidence going into this one. We talk about this being a pretty CT-sided map most times, but in this sort of matchup, TSM playing the way they are, they're going to absolutely run away with this one by the looks of things. So finally, the double AWP setup coming for Copenhagen Wolves, a change of pace here, perhaps.
And credit to them for continuing to try and sort of reinvent themselves. They're not just doing the same thing every round. They're really trying to come up with answers to beat TSM here, and that's a good sign. Nice jump there. Not the easiest one, but it's definitely, you can learn it yourself, jumping down. Don't even need to bunny jump. You can just do it with the normal one. Rubino not going to get the shot off here. Twist also missing. Has to fall back just a little bit, but still fairly far on the map, trying to contest them, and he's got his back covered as well, so he can stay here for just a little while longer. TSM, they are being slowed down by this, even though no one's... Well, there's the kill, and there's the second one. Jacob up on the shelves to take down Cajun B. Device missing a lot of sprays. He goes down. Jacob crab walking down the stairwell. It's a rare sight. Sipnix and Dupree are going to be left. It's 2v5 here. A really good start for Copenhagen Wolves in this round, and it's about time.
Yeah, that boost from Jackham, I think that was absolutely fantastic. A really nice play to mix things up, get those opening frags, and actually not going to drop a single death this time. This double AWP setup, I think, could be very strong for them. It means they can lock down areas like long. It takes away that positional control that TSM have been getting almost every single time. And they can have a versatile AWP as well. They can send one going towards middle, going towards Monster Tunnel, for example. You need to start mixing things up, find these initial frags at the start of the game, and it means you don't allow TSM to do their full executions onto anywhere they like, which they've had full control of so far. But now, Dupree going to be the final man. He will get taken down, and this is a serious chance for Copenhagen Wolves to get back into this. It's not too far gone yet. There's still a lot of rounds to play.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not at the end of the first half here yet. I feel like even just the sound of the AWP was enough to slow TSM down. Like, they didn't kill it until Rubino got the entry frag. No one died, and that is still worked out. There's the nice jump down. Yeah, a little bit of air control. You've got that jump nailed.
Well, here we go then. 5 AKs for TSM, a full set of utility for them. Going towards that B bomb site once again, you would expect them to be doing something pretty fast here with the smoke grenades, perhaps, and that shot from Dupree takes down Zendo. Fantastic use of the new hitboxes there.
And sprays through the wall. Dupree's on fire. Going to be taking down Severson. Well, he cannot be stopped. Jacob finally comes in with a kill on Carrigan. You can't feel it might just be too late here. Dupree's really feeling it. Even so bold as just be shooting through the smoke, doesn't even care any longer. And they can't even easily escape here. They're being sandwiched in. A good flick there from Twist to take down Cajun B, but it's already Copenhagen Wolves just trying to hold on to the rifles here. That was a sickening entry from Dupree. Yeah,
that's one word for it. What a fantastic way. Like, there are a lot of angles that are viable as CT now. You have to kind of think twice about doing that jump boost onto the short area there. Used to be get away with that 99% of the time. You wouldn't ever die. And now when you're playing against players like Dupree, facing and giving yourself the head on the plate for them, you're going to get it ripped off now. So great use there from Dupree. 3 entry frags for him. What can you do against that sort of play? But they are going to save the AWP and the M4A4 now. But the economy getting grounded down. After winning one and losing the subsequent round after that, $1,400 comes into play. And this is where it gets tempting for Copenhagen. Let's have a look at that shot.
And I think we could see over time something like that being not phased out, but now it's like that's like a risk versus reward thing going on. You have to calculate whether it's worth making that jump because you can actually get killed for it. So yeah, that's interesting.
There we go then. They have a forced up into this round. It'll be a relatively decent buy. Famises and M4s, 3 kits as well. T slowing this right down now. They're expecting the aggression to come back into play. Not going to happen this time. A much more passive setup from Copenhagen Wolves. playing 3 players towards the B bomb site. See the players on A as well, giving TSM once again, they're going to get full control and allow them to fully execute onto the site. This is difficult, especially when they're a little bit up against the ropes in terms of economy.
Yeah, what is there? I mean, if we can bring up the scoreboard for just a second here, I'm wondering, yeah, Copenhagen, they really don't have a lot. TSM, and they could buy even if they lose here. They probably just force it up and keep going. So it's all on the CT side to continue to win here now that they've got a little bit of a foothold. Shot goes through but doesn't hit anybody, and now the follow-up grenades, and it seems like that was the trigger for TSM to move forward. 45 seconds, and they are bringing the bomb over on this side of the map too, just leaving SipNix behind to control B while the rest push in, and they're giving a lot of space here. This is a lot of just room to move around and look inside the bomb site, and Copenhagen Wolves are forced really far back. A shot on Twist as well, he's gonna go down. Rubino the only one to reply, and they need a lot more. He has to get another kill here and even survive after that. Carrigan pushing up as well. Dupree goes down. Rubino doing a really good job, but it's not enough. Cajun will shut him down. And now it's a 2v3. They have no more grenades nearly left on Copenhagen Wolves, and that's going to be the end of it. Carrigan with a triple kill. Was that too passive a hold, you think?
It's the same problem we discussed before. If you allow TSM to get that much control, and you see XipX going up all the way up to long, facing every single angle, Device with him as well, covering with the AWP, what can you do?
All right, so the one time when they got this much control, they set up all the way by the restrooms and they put smokes in. This time, they didn't put the smokes in. They sort of walked their way in with the AWP and sort of use. So TSM, if you give them control, you can't even really expect the same reply from them. They'll have different responses.
Yeah, absolutely. That time's a little bit, they saw it as so passive, they didn't even need to do the smokes down. There's that surprise play coming in, and that's actually going to ruin the economy for Copenhagen Wolves this time. Full USP buy for them. You can see 1P 250 as well, but they have predicted the stack correctly. XipX opens things up with the Twist, but can their CTs hold strong here?
Yeah, they're all on the bomb side. Last time that didn't work too well. This time Severs will at least pick up a kill. And Dupree's going to be there with the reply, and he's just going nuts in this bomb site. You can tell when Dupree is like in his zone, and definitely right now he's doing a good job. Probably going to look for a third kill here, and he's going to be successful as well. 10-3, moving into the 14th round. I don't know what Dupree's score is right now overall, but it has to be fairly high up there.
Absolutely, he's been playing out of his mind, and this is what we are talking about, this first game of the day for TSM. I think this is a perfect matchup for them. We can see what kind of form they're in, who's actually playing well. Dupree, one of the best riflers in the world right now, and when you've got him firing on all cylinders, you know it's going to be a bad day at the office for the opposition. So Copenhagen Wolves, 3 rounds on the board of the CT side, definitely need to take the last 2 if they want to stand even a chance going against the CT setup at TSM.
And I think that said 17-3-5 in just 13 rounds, starting on the 14th now. It's not too bad at all. Bit of a failed grenade there. Dupree gonna invent his own pop flash to go and check out what's going on by the tree. Puts out a Molotov, and Jacob, is he gonna have to move? No, it actually fails a bit then. It's a little bit disappointing when he realizes someone's there and is playing a dangerous game, as there are actually 3 people on long right here. And Device is gonna help out. Takes down 1 and a second as well before Dupree finally falls. Still a favorable trade. Absolutely, great work from Device there. Dupree coming in and causing some aggro there, but Device answers straight back. But Zeva is taking down Carrigan, neutralizes the round to a 3-on-3, and now Copenhagen Wolves take the advantage. Important kill for Twist there. SipNix that hasn't had too much of a chance to do anything because Dupree's just been getting so many kills, and he's been playing very defensively over here at B. He's just been sort of the backup player. We'll see if he can help to open this bomb site. Looks like Device is bringing the bomb back. TSM might as well try and go for it at this point. Absolutely. They've got 2 smokes as well. They could actually smoke off upper and actually give themselves a really good chance here, considering that's where the AWP will lie, but they're actually just going to wait for Device and work the picks here. I think this is fantastic. And oh my god, through the wooden structure there, if XipX takes down Zevez, and what a kill that is to open up the bomb site. That is ridiculous. There's no way SipNix could have even known that. He goes down. Maybe it's some sort of cosmic karma in play here. Device now trapped behind. He jumps and gets taken down. Rubino not going to hesitate for a second. A triple kill here for the Norwegian player, and that's going to be at least a good round, all things considered. Yeah. But that was just that. I want to see a replay of that from SipNix. That was ridiculous. Good to see as well, the jumping hitboxes actually seem like they're working perfectly now. We're seeing people getting punished at least for jumping. Before, you could actually get away with that jump and actually just get information and fall back. Yeah. But it seems like it's working perfectly, the updates. So congrats to Valve, that is good. But here we go, is that shot from XipX, bang! Straight through the wood there, fantastic stuff. But like you said, Copenhagen Wolves get their 4th round on the board. Money's still not great for them though, lost a couple of frags, so 2 Famases come into play. TSM with the full buy as well. So this is the aggression coming in from Copenhagen Wolves again. They know they're up against the ropes in terms of the buy, so they need to find that first frag. Twist going to be leading the way. The AWP manages to find the kill onto Carrigan as well. Now he can fall back to the bomb site. This is when you have the position to actually go back and play more passively. Oh, and he could have even afforded to fall back then, as you said, but stays around a little bit longer. Device takes him out, but it's still a favorable trade right now. It's 4 versus 2. Device and Sipnix, the only 2 left, so Copenhagen Wolves a really good chance to get a 5th round on the board here and see if they can make it through Sipnix. Bit of a quick flick there as Device also takes down Rubino, and now from a 2v4 into a 2v2. Jacob coming up from behind. Not going to be hearing anything, Device. I think maybe he could have heard the step, but maybe a little bit occupied there. So now Sipnix has to do everything on his own here. A 1v2, doesn't have the bomb, has about 50 seconds left, and Jacob's going to go and challenge, and that might have been a mistake. They're feeding these kills to Sipnix, and he's going to have the double. Puts up a smoke, but who has the advantage in a 1v1 like this? I mean, guess they know where Sipnix is. Sender has a little bit of information. Sipnix making a lot of noise, but there's 35 seconds here. Yeah, the time itself and the fact that when he gets the bomb and he knows the CT hasn't even spotted him in this situation, all of a sudden the momentum shifts in his favor. Zendy now, I'm not sure what he's going to do. The mind games are so difficult, especially on a map like Overpass. The rotations are so fast between the bomb sites. It'll be so difficult to work out where he's going, but so far he seems to be reading it pretty well, making his way towards B. Yeah. And you can see this might be a perfect confrontation as they're going to meet on shore. Yeah, Sendage doing a really good job right now, positioning himself, but it's not enough. Sipnix will take him down, and it's going to be a triple here for the Danish player, and a brutal way to end the half. I mean, Sender actually played that remarkably well, I think. Yeah, absolutely, read it perfectly, but it has to be said, in recent form, ZipX has been picking up these clutches left, right, and center. The support player, we herald his abs, but he can clutch when he needs to, and actually has been doing it a lot recently, especially in PGL. We saw him picking up some huge clutches, but there we go. That's the first frag that kicked things off for him. This was the problem for me when Jacob lost that kill there. A frag he didn't need to, perhaps. He had control of the bomb. He didn't have his teammate with him. Just needed to watch that bomb and then fall back in that situation, but there we go. 11-4 does favor TSM. They're going into the favored side CT now. Copenhagen will definitely need to find this pistol if they want to stand any chance going into this one. We'll see a lot of teams favor the B bomb side, especially on the T pistol. Interesting to see what they go towards here. They've got 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs, and 3 players, sorry, heading over to the B bomb side. Yeah, TSM pushing fairly aggressively, very much like Twitch was doing. Carrigan's on a bit of an adventure. Ruben hasn't heard. Now I think he realized that something is wrong. That's not a teammate. And is he going to put out any shots yet? Carrigan's still running. Jacob turns around. He's going to catch him. Good communication there between Copenhagen Wolves. You can see they were working together to get that kill on Carrigan. And Device now has to fall back as they're setting up on this Copenhagen Wolves side for what looks like a B push eventually. Oh, wait, they're going to run into them by the sewer here. Sipnix pushing down. He's got the USPS in hand. Being shot in the back. Somehow still alive, and that drops the bomb. This is a disaster right now for Copenhagen Wolves. They need to get this refrags in really quickly as well. 50 seconds left, and right now, they've managed to equalize, but that should have been a quick kill there. How did ZipX not even take any damage in that situation? He gets away unscathed completely. I thought he was a dead man, but he said 4-4. Time still remaining here, but they will be opting to go towards the B side. And look at this instant 1-click. Jacob is gone. He had the perfect angle for it. And now they're going to try and go in once again. Sipnix looking for another shot here. Still got 8 bullets. Hasn't reloaded yet. Where's that bomb plant? It's one more headshot. He's going to get aim punched and goes down to Twist. But now it's all on Sender, and he can't even get the bomb down here. Cajun being way too aggressive, and it's nothing that Sender could do. He couldn't take any individual duels. He was just getting overrun there. Look at them enjoying themselves. Yeah, so we saw a very aggressive round from the CTs there. Carrigan getting all the way around to T-spawn. But like you said, good communication from Copenhagen Wolves to lock him down. They actually committed to go towards the B-bomb sub. This was a shot that really changed things. ZipX, after clutching that round 2-on-1 towards the end of the T-half, manages to open up the CT with 2 great frags there, securing them around. We can see Copenhagen Wolves will be forcing into this one. Tech 9s and body armor port. 4 smokes as well, so you would assume they're going to do a smoke play onto the B side, but let's see, making their way to connector now. They're going to have some confrontation there as Carrigan takes down Twist. Yeah, quick to go down, and Carrigan is looking for more, using all the bullets, but not going to be quite enough here. Device will get the kill, though, and Rubino is going to go down to Sipnix, so still looking fairly good here for TSM. Sevis, last man standing, and if they could get one more kill, if you could find Device or Sipnix, that'd be great, but it's just not going to happen here. I mean, this seems like a sure victory. All these TSM players just having a grand old time, aren't they? Well, this is it. Now they get the proposition to play against a full eco as well. You can assume this one is all tied up, to be fair. Copenhagen Wolves did have some good footing into it. Looked like the comeback may have come back on their CT half, but now it just seems like 13-4. They're on a full eco this time. You see some PT-50s being bought there. Actually, it's only going to be 1. 4 Glocks coming in, 1 flashbang. I don't think they're long for this world. Look at this aggression coming from TSM straight towards Fountain. They really are showing zero respect as they make their way all the way around as well. They got 3 P90s. I don't think there is, like, you don't have a soul at that point when you buy this many P90s, and they're just going to be spraying down into Slaughter. Oh no, Device and Dupree cleaning it up, and it's going to be the triple for Device. Someone had to get it. That's just a merciless round, isn't it?
What can you say about that? I've never seen that before. When a team runs all the way over to the fountain area, turns around, you have a massive 5-on-5 battle, P90 spray going on, and look at this, absolute carnage, and pretty entertaining to watch nonetheless. But that's going to be the round. TSM will need to take them one step closer here. 1 point away from map point. So now we have the first gun round here. 5 AKs purchased Copenhagen Walls, but those P90s staying through for TSM. What can they do with them? Yeah,
not even going to switch out any of these weapons. They feel like might as well keep going.
What's going on here?
I've just no idea.
Are those
Henry,
the P90?
You're the analyst.
Oh, right. This is as orthodox. I think they're having a little bit too much fun, it seems like. I've never seen this before in my life. What is this? I guess... I don't even know what to tell you. They're just trying to hope they get the B play. The execute comes in, he can bait in. There's only one player playing, then they can just jump out, have the surprise party.
Are they threatening Sipnix? Are they saying, you stand here and dive for us, and then we'll get all the kills? If you move, we'll shoot you right now.
You have to die.
You just have to stand here.
Well, here we go. It's not going to work out for them too well. As you can see, it's going to be Device left on the A-bomb side by himself. He's only going to have a P90 and a Tech 9 to hold them off as well. So not long for this world. You would imagine he calls one of the T players and making their way up mid. It's just going to be him holding them off the whole of the terrorist force now.
Oh, so the hostage situation that was going on the B-bomb site has evaporated as they are making their way up to the A-bomb site. Device alone here, and he's going to get overrun. Rubino manages to get that kill. A good call from Copenhagen Wolves to hit A right now. Sipnix trying to get through the smoke, and he's going to be successful. Carrigan going around the corner. So many targets. They're all flashed, and he gets a double kill. Dupree still alive only for a second. Nice round from Rubino. A triple kill, and Copenhagen Wolves make it to 5-14. Henry, we all know the term support player, but I feel like that was ridiculous down there. They were getting ready to sacrifice Sipnix.
There was an absolute sacrifice going on there. Some sort of strange play we've never seen before. This setup, I'm sure, will go down in history. We'll see this on Reddit very shortly as to what was going on here. I can't really analyze that for you. I think they were just trying to have a little bit too much fun. But now things get serious. Carrigan goes back to business, picks up the AWP, going for that pick on Fountain, manages to leg Zendi there, but actually falling back and actually showing some discipline here. So gets the damage off and some information and will fall back.
That makes it so hard for Copenhagen Wolves to play aggressively once again. You can see just the leg shot there is enough to stop the whole team in its tracks. They don't even crossed halfway across the map here. And it's just a minute and 10 seconds, so good aggression from TSM.
Absolutely. It means you can scare the T side a bit there. They'll be so rattled by that first leg shot coming in. Now they have to take the map a lot slower. You can see Jacob here just molotoving out the rocks, just trying to work out if he can push some CT players back. Not going to lead to much, though, as they haven't really got control yet. It looks like they're making their way towards long. One player towards the connector. It's going to be Twist, just waiting to see if he can push, well, hold the flanks from the CT forces here. Bomb going to be left towards Fountain as well. So here we go then. Dupree faces, actually manages to take down one. He gets neutralized by JChem. Now it's a 4-on-4, which you do have to favor towards the T side normally.
Oh, it's a nice shot there from Carrigan, but Device actually couldn't make it back to the CT spawn before he got caught there. So pretty good intuition coming out from Copenhagen. Was just running from JChem, I think, to get that shot. Realized he couldn't make it out of there. It's going to be 3v3 now in about 25 seconds, and that's the big problem here for Copenhagen Wolves. The bomb is all the way by birthday, and they've got 20 seconds. This is madness. If the guy carrying the bomb now dies, the round is pretty much over, and Carrigan, well, he's going to miss the first flick, goes for another one. Jacob is down. Sender's the one who's got the bomb. He's got 7 health left. This seems almost impossible. He's trying to make his way through, and Sender now gone. Rubino going to die. Just so little time left at the end there.
Yeah, so they actually gained some control towards the end of the map, but it was Device who's just left on that side, looking towards long. Sorry, it was Carrigan. So looking towards long, falling back, getting that shot off on towards middle, gets the second headshot, and like you said, no time left, 10 seconds. And it was that initial aggression that rattled the T side and meant they couldn't have the same confidence going into certain areas. They had to be a lot more methodical, cleaning out angles. And now we go on to match point now.
I feel like they're setting it up for us nicely, Henry, because it's what we were sort of advocating that Copenhagen Wolves should do a bit more to buy that time, and now we see TSM doing it actually kind of works.
That's why, yeah, so you slow down the T side completely. You can't allow them to have so much time and so much control to execute onto the A side, like TSM were allowed to do. What's this again? It's back.
Time.
What are we going to name this? I think we have to give it a name.
Maybe it's something different. Maybe they're channeling all their energy to Sipnix. They've got like, he's like an obelisk of light, and they're just trying to feed him more power, so he's there. They're going to rotate out again, so we won't get to see what this setup is all about yet. I feel like they owe it to us to keep trying until it works.
Oh, I'm sure they will. It looks like Device is going to have his work cut out for him.
They are rotating a bomb back towards the B bomb site. Maybe there's still a chance, although they're missing Sipnik, so now who's going to be sacrificed down here? Nobody else wants to, apparently. They're all just sitting put, and the bomb making its way back up to EIZO. Copenhagen Wolves just a bit confused at the moment here. Looking for a shot is Device, but he goes down. That's Rubino. The C-set 75. Sipnik's no longer the sacrificial lamb, now back in the A-bomb site and looking for a couple of more kills here with the M4A4. Still got plenty of bullets left here to try and make it work. 12 in the chamber and moving up, trying to get those kills. Kerrigan showing up with the P90 as well, but this round is going to be done 16-5 in favor of TSM as they beat Copenhagen Wolves.
Yep, there we go then. TSM, we talked about this being the warm-up game for them, and what a game it was. Copenhagen Wolves is being a little bit too passive for me on their CT side, allowed TSM way too much control of the map, and it was their downfall completely. They lost, and there we go, a pretty convincing scoreline. 16-5 has to be said. That pretty much is a mauling.
Yeah, I mean, some of the analysts I think were close to that for it. I think it was around 16-8-ish, so not too bad either there. It's hard. It's a really hard map to play, but sure. Maybe some of that lack of aggression there on the CT side was hurting them a little bit. But we've got the panel ready to talk about this game, more or less at least. Richard.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, Alan. It was a great game. We enjoyed that one. We were hovering intently over our feedback monitor. And we're coming back to the desk now, and just to show how awesome we are, we're actually...
I think this is a bit of it, like last time we were missing one analyst, this time we're missing the other. It's going to be just me and you, Richard, by the end of the day.
Yeah, I think this is what's happening. Everyone's dropping like flies. It's incredibly unprofessional. I've never worked in conditions like this before, and frankly, I don't like it, but you will notice.
It's all right. They're signing their own quitting contract.
Yeah.
You know, they're resigning from the future tournaments.
I'm worried that a Fox fan might have got Duncan right before this next game. That's what I'm worried about. I think some guy might have just abducted him. We're going to find out about that in a bit. We'll find out where Duncan is. Hopefully he's safe, everyone. Fingers crossed, all the Thorin fans. And just while we're talking, actually, I know people can hear me out in the auditorium. If you want to get an autograph from Envious, of course, the amazing French team, they're going to be signing mouse mats, signing t-shirts, signing anything you wave in front of them. God, that came out wrong. Wow. Nice.
I'll be right back. Excuse me.
Yeah. You can go and do that until 8:15. So you've got about 20 minutes by my estimations. So, gentlemen, anyway, let's talk about the game with the absence of the mighty Thorin. We will just soldier on. I mean, TSM, we talked about how good they were on Overpass. Just a great first half for them, and they looked really polished.
Well, and polished is the word for TSM, but it's the opposite for Copenhagen, because they won the first pistol, but then they immediately got ecoed on one of the sloppiest anti-ecos I've ever seen. Walked in, the Tech-9 just obliterated them on the B site. We saw Dupree was nuts coming in and won that the jump shot over top of the plywood. I don't remember what round it was.
Three entry
frags, hits another one through the wall toward Monster. Like, just insane. But Copenhagen was like really disorganized on a lot of their T-side, specifically on entries, but rotations on CT.
All right, well, we'll pick the bones out in a moment. We're going to go over to the stage. We've got Kerrigan, the mastermind behind that TSM victory, with our boy Mantrus. How are you doing?
The mastermind. How's that sound?
That's too much, in my opinion.
Richard, sort it out, mate. All right, but Kerrigan, let's be honest. You've been putting in the work with this team, and you guys are indeed performing, you know, and that's amazing. So how's that feel?
It feels good. I mean, we had a kind of slump playing bad in the summer, so I think we're getting back into shape. So we just need to win some tournaments now. That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah. So your last tournament was Dubai. You had some amazing matches there. Just maybe not exactly the performance that you wanted, though, in the end.
I mean, we lost on the fifth map against Virtus.pro 16-14. So that's a harsh way to lose a tournament. So, but we need to get back on our feet and change some stuff and prepare for the upcoming tournaments.
By the looks of it, you've had a great start here. That was a very, very dominating performance. Why do you think that is?
I think the map Overpass was in our favor. I mean, I feel very confident in Overpass on the CTT side. That's one of the matches we worked on when we lost at ESA finals against Fnatic. So I think the last 3 months we have been superior on Overpass. So I think that's why the result was as it was.
As a captain, you know, what is it like having surely more responsibility to look after a team, keep them in check? Is it difficult?
For big tournaments it can be, but for this tournament we didn't prepare so good. We just play our own game. and we just play a little more loose against Copenhagen Wolves and the enemies we have in our groups than we usually do, because then the players can shine a little more. But when it gets tougher opponent, we need to play more structured and have a good balance between that. So right now it was kind of a relaxing environment in this match.
Who would you say your toughest opponents could be are going to be in this tournament?
That's going to be ENVYUS. We haven't won against that team yet, and we kind of won the revenge from losing to them in semi-final on Cologne. So that's the toughest opponent. But I think Kingwin or the Gamers 2 lineup is also a scary one since they won Gaming Paradise 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So apparently there was a big play that happened with Zipnix in the match. ZipX. It's pronounced ZipX. He's going to be happy that I got that right. Yeah, so what happened there? Was it like a particularly interesting moment? I didn't catch it myself.
I can't remember. I mean,
like people all aiming at him, and then something crazy happened.
I just looked at him and he just smiled to me. So I just thought he made something random, and then he wrote in the chat after, "I don't have any mouse feeling," so probably something random.
Very cheeky, very cheeky. Well, thank you very much for your time, Captain K. Is that cool? Not cool. Not cool. Sorry, everybody. Anyway, we're going back to the desk. You'll see more from these guys later. Thanks very much for watching this. Guys, over to you.
Look, I don't know about Captain K. I think he's been on the special K. Put it that way, mate. The way he's babbling on. Come on, man, Truce, get it together. It's been a long day, mate. Sort your stuff out.
Speaking of getting it together,
we still haven't got Duncan's just gone. He's gone.
Yep.
Light a candle for Duncan's career. This could be the end of it this time. Walking off from a desk. What a disgrace. Of all the things he's done, eh? Anyway, so look, we were just talking about Copenhagen Wolves just before we went over to Carrigan. So you were saying that they played poorly and that sort of factored into making it easy for TSM.
Yeah, I mean, really sloppy. Obviously, TSM had a lot of fun there. The reference that Manters was making was just that there was 2 rounds in a row where Zipnix was standing in B and 3 guys were in the water staring. I mean, they had that much confidence and comfort. At that point, they were at 14 rounds. It wasn't a big deal, but just that's how little respect they had for the fact that Copenhagen Wolves weren't going to have any chance of getting back into that game. They weren't executing. They weren't finding the opening picks. Their CT side was torn apart by TSM. That B site was opened up a number of times, and normally TSM is one of the teams that actually favors A with smokes on the A site more and more lately. They've definitely shown hints of playing both and depending on the situation, but today they just walked in on B.
Yeah, I think that's what it boils down to. It was a little bumpy at the start of the map. I think that was just due to both teams warming up, but then you kind of saw where Copenhagen Wolves, you know, they had they kind of plateaued out a little bit at the beginning where it started to look a bit good. Obviously, they won the pistol round, but then they came, you know, so it turned into a bit of a scuffle. But then that's when TSM, you know, once they started getting their aim in, they showed that they had a couple more gears, and Copenhagen Wolves just couldn't keep up in the end. That's I think what it boils down to in the end is just the fact that Copenhagen Wolves, all these problems that you've just described, you can't have versus an elite team, and an elite team that will just out-aim you as well before they even have to bring in the tactics. That's the big thing here, is that I don't think the TSM were ever in any danger of losing this game.
And it shows when that's an issue on the CT side. I said it was a side-oriented map before. I said my prediction would be something like 16-12. That was entirely dependent on a good CT side at a Copenhagen Wolves, and when they got the pistol, I thought, okay, this looks all right, they could. Yeah. But it was very indicative that it was going to be a problem as soon as they lost the ensuing eco round, and then it never really transpired after that. So
we're also doing a bit of Twist watch. How do we feel about him? He's kind of in the team after his time in the wilderness. Signs of life, or are we going to file him with Palth?
No, we're not going to cast him out into the wild just yet.
No.
But, I mean, he is kind of in the wild with Copenhagen Wolves to begin with. I mean, it's still an up-and-coming team.
True.
But as far as, like, the huge impact Twist, it's a bit much to ask. You know, when it's just like, okay, Twist, go win toe-to-toe versus Device, Cajun, and Dupree, right? Especially when Dupree showing us rounds like that, the triple entry frag one, like, and Zipnix as well. I mean, they were kind of like bowing down to their lord at the end there, right? You know, a couple rounds there. You know,
that triple entry frag by Dupree was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was insane. The first one on the jump, I mean, that highlights the hitbox fix. That he nailed that shot. Like, boom, done. See ya.
Yeah.
Don't think about that again.
I mean, I know it's perhaps a bit early in the tournament to really talk about this. We have said that in terms of ENVYUS on we felt that they had a pretty easy route on their side of the bracket, you know, and the teams that they were going to be coming up against in the group stages. Group B obviously does have G2 Kingwin in, and maybe TSM might have a bit more of a difficult path. Now, judging on that performance, do we feel we've got potential tournament winners here in the form of TSM? I mean, can we say that they're right.
It's basically Envy and TSM.
Yeah.
Like you know, you got sharks that kind of like swim around through the ocean, and you got remoras that are just like chilling out with them, right? You know, that's kind of like the two beasts that we have in this tournament right now. The sharks, they're TSM and Envy. The rest of them are kind of just trying to like swim along in the slipstream and hope that they manage to get third or fourth, because I think it's pretty clear, at least, it would be just a massive upset, humongous upset, if one of these two weren't in the finals facing off against each other.
And of course, Carrigan said, you know, that's the team they're really gunning for, because it's the one they've not beat yet.
Yeah, that particular roster is the one they haven't beat yet. I mean, look, even if TSM played horribly today, I'd still say they're potential winners for this tournament. Would you just look at it, how they stack up on paper, the results, they're always going to be potential winners in this. But to say off the form of that one game, we can look at it and say that's a high probability, that's a bit too soon to read, especially against a team like Copenhagen Wolves. And naturally, when you look at Envious and how well they did play today, again, you could say the same thing. They didn't have a huge challenge in their group either, but things are rolling. Kenny looked pretty solid. So, I mean, I don't think it's clear-cut for either of them. I do think that's the obvious final, though. Well, G2's got the best chance of being the upset.
Yeah, that's what I'm intrigued about. That's kind of where I was trying to go with that question. See if we can, you know, maybe rustle a few jimmies. But
sure. I mean, I think more so than Twist, we're all going to be watching Scream after this update. See if it's going to be the return of the headshot machine. Man.
That's absolutely going to be vital, I think, to how G2 are going to do it.
And
overall
that's going to be the next game, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It just turns
there you
out.
Go. Oh,
so happens.
We're all waiting for it. We're not going to have to wait too long.
Right,
guys.
well, sack it then. Let's go to a break, eh? Let's do it.
Let's go find Duncan.
If
anyone in here has seen Thorin or has Thorin at this point, just bring him back.
Yeah, it's
please.
like, do you know when you were like, did this ever happen to you? Like, you ever got lost in a supermarket as a kid and they had to like do the thing over the tannoy going,
usually,
Mrs. Shields, please come.
Usually when I got lost in the supermarket as a kid, it's because I was picking up the phone to make the announcement myself and just troll the store. And then, we found him. We got him.
Hopefully we can get Duncan a balloon and something just to calm him down, because he's having a bad time. Obviously got lost in the venue.
There's a bushel of bananas over there. You know,
we've seen plenty of those. Anyway, thanks for your thoughts, gentlemen. With that said, we're going to take a break, and when we get back, we are going to see G2 in action. They're going to be going up against SK Gaming. We just saw them walk past to get set up, so please come back in about 10 minutes. We'll see you then.